I've had this same dream, or nightmare really, since I was a kid, and it's strange because for years I'd totally forgotten about it, until it suddenly came back with a vengeance when I was older. I don't know what made it resurface or why it's so intense now, but it's seriously starting to mess with my head. The nightmare always starts the same way. I'm a little kid, maybe 5 or 6, and I'm walking down this road I've never seen before. It's empty, quiet, almost too quiet. The whole place is wrapped in this weird fog that makes everything look faded. I'm just walking, feeling this deep unease, but I don't know why. It's not like anything terrible has happened yet. I just know something's off. Then I see him. There's this man standing on the side of the road, just watching me. He's tall, dressed in a dark suit, and he has these sharp features that look calculated, I guess. That's the only word that comes to mind. It's like he's measuring me, analyzing my every move, and even though he doesn't say anything, I can tell he knows more about me than he should. He's not someone I'd seen anywhere in real life, yet he felt disturbingly familiar, like he was meant to be there. I remember waking up from that dream terrified as a kid, but as time went on, I kind of forgot about it. You know how it is. Kids have vivid imaginations, and weird dreams are just a part of it. But then, years later, it happened again. I was maybe 23, driving late at night, when I suddenly found myself on a stretch of road that looked just like the one from my dreams. I'd forgotten about the dream until that exact moment, but the second I saw that road, it all came rushing back. Everything looked the same fog, the same silence, the same unsettling feeling that something was wrong. And I kid you not, I felt like that guy was there watching me again. I didn't see him, but his presence was like this heavy weight pressing down on me. I brushed it off, figuring I was just creeped out by the memory, and tried to keep my focus on the road, but the dreams didn't stop. Every few nights I'd have the same nightmare, always starting with me as a kid on the road. Every time he was there. Over the years he started getting closer, standing a little nearer to me each time, like he was waiting for me to recognize him or figure something out. He'd just stand there, silent, staring at me with those cold, calculating eyes. It was like he was waiting for me to mess up somehow. And then one night, it wasn't just a dream. I was driving home after a late shift, exhausted and barely keeping my eyes open. I was on a road I'd never taken before, trying to cut through to save time. At some point the road looked familiar, but I couldn't place it. It was like something from the back of my mind was nudging me, telling me to turn around, but I kept going. Then the fog rolled in, just like in the dream. It hit me like a punch to the gut, and I knew exactly where I was. This was the road from my nightmare. Right then, I noticed something on the side of the road up ahead. My heart started racing, and I gripped the wheel so hard my knuckles went white. I couldn't see him clearly, but there was someone standing just beyond the fog, close enough that I could make out a dark shape in a suit. I tried to tell myself it was just a tree or something, that my mind was playing tricks on me, but I couldn't shake the feeling that it was him. It was the man from my dreams waiting for me. I don't remember much after that. The next thing I know, everything went dark. When I opened my eyes, I wasn't in the car anymore. I was lying in a hospital bed, hooked up to a bunch of machines with this dull, throbbing pain in my head. Turns out I'd been in an accident, a bad one. I'd apparently been in a coma for days, and nobody was sure if I'd wake up. At first, I couldn't move or even speak. I just lay there, trying to piece everything together. It was a mess of memories and images, but one thing kept coming back to me. That man in the suit. Even though I'd been in a coma, I'd kept seeing him in my dreams over and over again. Only now the dreams felt different, more like memories. Like he was showing me bits of what had happened leading up to that accident. Every time I closed my eyes, he was there, closer than ever, watching, waiting. The nurses and doctors would check on me and ask how I was feeling, but I didn't know how to tell them that I was terrified of closing my eyes. Every time I drifted off, I felt like I was back on that road, right in the moment before the accident. I kept seeing flashes of my car, the fog, and him standing there almost like he was guiding me to this place or this moment. Finally, after days of this nightmare looping in my head, I snapped awake one night. For the first time I felt clear-headed, like I was actually awake, not stuck between a dream and reality. The room was dark, with just a bit of light from the machines around me, but I could see everything clearly. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, trying to piece together what was real and what wasn't. But here's the thing, I still hear him. Even now, after I've been discharged and I'm back home, I can still hear that man's voice sometimes. It's faint, almost like a whisper at the back of my mind, and it usually happens at nights when I'm alone and everything's quiet. I try to shake it off, to tell myself it's just a leftover memory from the accident, or a trick my brain's playing on me, but deep down, I can't ignore the feeling that he's still there. The doctors told me it was a miracle that I woke up at all, considering how bad the accident was. They said I was lucky, but honestly, I'm not sure if I believe that.